Happy Father's Day, team. Chef Eric here, and I want to share with you one of my favorite recipes. Pasta on the grill, what? It's one of my kids' favorite meals to do together. Brings everybody to the table. I don't know, you call it smoked, natural lump charcoal, fettuccine Alfredo. How about this? Blackened, seared hanger steak fettuccine Alfredo made from scratch. Not the pasta, but the sauce. Let's get in the action. We've got our Kamado Joe Big Joe 2 stabilized at 450 degrees. Our cast iron pan is on the lowest setting of the divide and conquer system. Now let's go ahead and blacken, sear our hanger steak. I've chosen a little Paul Prudhomme blackfish or redfish magic. While I was in restaurants for a couple of decades, this was the actual seasoning that we use in every single blackening recipe. This stuff's the bee's knees. All right, we're nice and seasoned. Let's go ahead and grab a little oil, put it in the cast iron pan, and get this baby searing. Now, a little trick for you, if you want to test and see if your pan or grill grates are hot enough, the drag test always works. So I want it to be a little more aggressive than that. So all that means is another minute and a half, and we're going to come to that smoking point where we see that shimmer happen. All right, and smoking point, we're there. All right, notice we've got smoke. Now, some of you at home are probably saying, why don't you just sear that on the grill grate? Well, I want the fond or the proteins that are stuck on the bottom of that pan, I want to bring those into the flavor of this fettuccine Alfredo, the hanger steak blackened fettuccine Alfredo we're making. All right. What I do want to do though to bring in that natural lump charcoal flavor is close this dome. We're going to close that dome so that we can lock in that of the grill flavor, right? When we're using charcoal, our fuel source is our secret ingredient. Let's go ahead and flip. And now we close the dome. While we're smoke searing our hanger steak in our grill, let's go ahead back over to the cutting board and do a little bit of preparation. I need some chopped garlic to bring some deliciousness to this dish. So team, remember it's Father's Day. Whenever a recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of garlic, we mean 2. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and hit the finisher here, which is going to be the herbaceous, beautiful, earthy parsley. All right, let's take a look. Stunning. I love the caramelization on both sides of the steak. Still nice and rare, but great caramelization. Let's go ahead and take the steak off, let it rest. Now we're going to move the cast iron pan to the indirect side. I need to be a little cooler before we start caramelizing our garlic. We don't want to roast it right off the bat and have that bitter flavor. So now that it's cooled off, a little bit of olive oil, let's put our chopped garlic in there. Stir it around a little bit. Now that it's gotten nice and golden brown, let's go ahead and add our white wine to deglaze. Now we're bringing up all that fond and all that blackening seasoning from the bottom of the pan. Beautiful. Those bubbles we want to see, let's let it reduce. It's reduced by 1/3 the volume. And you can see it's starting to get a little viscosity, and we don't even have any real major fat content in there. Let's go ahead and add the base of our sauce. This is an Alfredo sauce. We're making it from scratch, all right? Nothing crazy. A little heavy whipping cream, all right, and we're going to go ahead and stir that in as well. So again, we're bringing up those flavors of the seared steak, of the blackening seasoning, of the garlic, and we're just going to kind of find the hottest point of the grill, and that's going to begin to simmer up. All right, so beautiful things are happening here. We could close the dome if we want to and get a little bit more of that natural lump charcoal flavor, but I think magical things are happening right now. And again, we're doing this over the open flame. Could we do this in a saute pan? Yes, but style points 3 out of 10. All right, we're out here having fun, bringing family and friends together, and we're prepped up. This is a bulletproof recipe. Super, super simple. Loving these bubbles. All right, notice how it's picking up a little bit of color as well. That's from all the deliciousness we already added. And just sprinkle it in. Now we're going to kind of work our tongs and kind of make that into an emulsified sauce. So this is a fun grated Parmesan and Asiago flavor. It brings a nice little bit of salinity to it. And look how it's already grated. It's not shredded. So boom, look at that. Now we've got a sauce. Now we've got a sauce. Nappe. Perfect. It's ready for the pasta. Look at that, and just let it drink it up. Now, interestingly enough, the starches from the pasta are going to start helping this sauce thicken up a little bit too. And that's enough. A little bit more blackening, just for fun. I've played around with smoking different flours and stuff and making pasta, but this little method here, twist and turn, just picks it all up. Maybe it's that high moisture content from the sauce. But this just, when you eat it, it screams of the grill. And look how that beautiful sauce is just collecting on those noodles, just like we like. I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to the indirect side. We're going to slice our steak and then put it on. Bread's great. Some people like to slice it. I like to hand tear it. Something about this farm bread makes it a little more rustic, makes it a little more fun. You get the kids involved, they can do that. Let's go ahead and bring our plate over and we'll start plating this up while this is finishing. I don't want it to reduce any further because it'll start to break. So just a little twist as we're coming out. Oh yeah. Look at that. Little bit of charred bread. If you like it a little more saucy, add a little more heavy cream or don't reduce it far enough. I like the idea of 3 pieces on here. That's kind of fun. Oh my gosh, look at that. It almost looks like a carbonara. Look how just the sheen. And the steak is nice and rested. We're just gonna slice. Oh my gosh. Now nice and thin. You could do big old thick steaks, but I like to cut it at a bias. It's just more fun across this long grain. See how you can just kind of shingle it. Oh, that looks awesome. This is a Father's Day steak for sure. Hanger steak. There's only one per cow or one per steer, right? It's in the back, holds up the abdomen. Anytime I see this on a menu, I put the menu down and I have a deal with myself that I go ahead and automatically order it. And for sure, this one comes from the Wooden Nickel farm out in Cedar Grove, North Carolina. And that looks really fun just on top like that. But I'm gonna put the other half, kind of X marks the spot mentality. Holy cow. Boom. Look at that, Jim. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous dish. It's so funny how with limited tools, you can be so precise. Like that is so much fun. Again, I pick up that of the grill flavor, which just amplifies everything in my book. And this is a meal, again, that brings people together. That's what we do when we're lighting the fire. It's not just a cooking method or a way to cook things through and heat things up. It's a storytelling vehicle, right? Remember, today's recipes are tomorrow's traditions. So let's start getting on that grill early and really instilling these things, these lifelong lessons above the flame with our friends and our family. And the kiddos, right? Father's Day. If you don't have one of these in your backyard, I implore you, you should. It's a lot of fun. From our backyard to yours, cheers and happy grilling.